Do you want to win? Do you crave a life so powerful, so precise, that mediocrity shivers just being near it? Then let me ask you a deeper question. Have you mastered your mind? Because until you do, every ambition you carry is just a hallucination dressed in hope. Success isn't granted. Wealth isn't stumbled upon. Greatness isn't handed out like spare change. All of it, every inch, is built in silence, in discipline, in war rooms no one sees, where your thoughts are forged into weapons. You can be talented. You can be hungry. But if your mind is chaos, your life will mirror that mess. The world doesn't reward the man with the most resources. It rewards the man who commands his focus, the one who moves by choice, not emotion, who keeps building even when everything around him begs him to stop. A disciplined mind is rare, and because it's rare, it's powerful. It doesn't bend to headlines. It doesn't chase opinions. It doesn't drift in and out of purpose based on how it feels today. No, it acts. It decides. It holds the line. Before you plant a single flag of achievement, your internal ground must be solid. Before any wealth appears in your reality, it must be printed, reprinted, and carved into your thoughts. Your mind is the architect. If it's scattered, your results will scatter. If it's weak, your execution will break. If it's passive, your future will be stolen by noise and distraction. Because no matter how much you want something, if you don't think like the man who gets it, you will always stay on the outside, looking in. Let's be real. Discipline isn't loud. It's not glamorous. It doesn't post on social media or seek applause. It's quiet. It's private. It's the voice inside you that whispers get up when everything else says stay down. It's what makes you rise early when no one is watching. What pushes you to build with focus while others scroll, delay, and drift. It is your private battle, but its consequences shape your public reality. Your mind is the starting line, not your schedule, not your job, not your family, your mind. Because your thoughts decide your emotions. Your emotions drive your actions. And your actions, day after day, build your life. Most men think their problems are external. Their job, their finances, their time. But what they truly lack is structure, internal clarity, the ability to wake up and command their direction instead of being pulled by the chaos of life. If your first thoughts in the morning are reaction, not creation, you've already lost. Most men wake up and check their phones, drown in noise, and carry that disorganization into the day. But a disciplined man, he wakes up with intention. His first thoughts are not borrowed from the world, but chosen from within. That makes him dangerous, not to people, but to everything that once limited him. You want to know when wealth begins? The moment you stop chasing it. The second you stop reacting to life and start designing it. And that design begins in the mind. Not with hype, not with ego, with decisions, with clarity, with thoughts loyal not to comfort, but to principle. That's the root of all greatness, not raw effort, but deliberate thought, repeated until your mind no longer flinches under pressure. Discipline doesn't ask for perfect conditions. It doesn't wait for energy, or motivation, or someone to pat you on the back. It shows up when you're tired. It returns when you fall. It whispers again when quitting would be easier. That's why it wins. Because it doesn't take breaks when emotions scream or when the world distracts. It just keeps showing up, on principle, not preference. Every morning, a man with vision doesn't start with a to-do list. He starts with a check-in. What am I thinking? Because what you're thinking is what you're building. Not someday, right now. Every dominant thought is laying brick or swinging a wrecking ball. Most men don't lose to failure. They lose to unchecked thoughts, to invisible beliefs that sabotage them before the world ever gets the chance. You want to change your life? Then change what you're rehearsing. Most men replay what went wrong. The disciplined man replays his vision. Most men focus on fears. The disciplined man focuses on systems, on clarity, on command. He knows chaos in the mind breeds chaos in reality. But order rewires the system. It gives your life a gravitational pull, a direction, a center of gravity that makes distractions irrelevant. When you repeat your vision often enough, it stops being a dream. It becomes your default, and that default becomes your filter. You stop accepting everything. You start rejecting what weakens you. You stop negotiating with feelings. You start operating by values. Let me break it to you plainly. Your thoughts are either building your future or betraying it. There is no neutral ground. Every time you entertain doubt, you delay execution. Every time you tolerate chaos, you invite failure. And every time you feed weakness, you bankrupt your own potential. So you must become militant with your mind. Every thought must pass a test. Does this build or does this break? Does this move me toward wealth or away from it? Does this align with who I am becoming or drag me back to who I used to be? And if the answer is no, it must go. No debate. No hesitation. That is the cost of greatness. You must decide, once and for all, what you're no longer available for. No more excuses. No more delay. No more self-pity. No more mental clutter that weighs down execution. The man who has disciplined his mind doesn't get stuck wondering what to do next. He already decided yesterday, last week, 5 years ago. And that decision echoes in every action, every word, every moment of his day. That's why he moves fast. That's why he speaks clear. That's why he builds momentum while others build anxiety. Understand this, time is wealth, and discipline protects time like a vault. It cuts off anything that drains without return, people, patterns, distractions. Not because he's cruel, but because he's clear. He knows what he's building. He knows why it matters. And he refuses to betray that mission for a moment of comfort. When your mind is trained, when it is loaded with vision, protected by structure, and armed with clarity, you become unshakable. You're no longer reacting to life. You're directing it. You're no longer praying for luck. You're executing plans. You're no longer overwhelmed. You're prioritized. And the world notices. Not at first. At first, it mocks you. Then it questions you. Then, it follows you. Because results can't be ignored forever. They speak louder than opinions. Louder than noise. Louder than doubt. And when your results are born of discipline, they don't just impress, they convict. They remind every undisciplined man of what he could be if he just got serious, if he just got clear, if he stopped drifting and started deciding. Because that's the real war, not talent, not opportunity, decision. The man who decides wins. And the man who keeps deciding daily, hourly, moment by moment, he becomes unstoppable. Not because he never feels resistance, but because he no longer obeys it. He recognizes it, names it, and keeps moving anyway. That's the man who becomes a magnet. For wealth, for trust, for power. Because he's mastered the only thing that ever mattered, himself. Discipline isn't a prison. It's a passport. It doesn't trap you, it frees you. It frees you from the chaos of scattered desires, from the regret of wasted years, from the shame of broken promises you made to yourself. Discipline builds you into someone you can respect, even when no one's watching. Especially when no one's watching. And that kind of self-respect? It's rare. It's dangerous. It's magnetic. When you walk with discipline, you don't have to announce your ambition. It's felt. In how you move. In how you think. In the weight of your silence. In the precision of your action. People won't understand it. And they're not supposed to. Because you weren't built for average. You weren't built for compromise. You were built to rise, to lead, to master. So I'll ask you one final time. Not to motivate you. Not to inspire you. But to confront you. Do you want to win? Do you want to command wealth? Do you want to walk into every room with the quiet force of someone who cannot be shaken? Then stop asking the world to change. Start mastering your mind. That's the only battlefield that matters. Win, there, and everything else follows. This is how the great ones rise. Not by accident, not by applause, but by discipline. Quiet, ruthless, daily. Discipline your mind, and the rest of your life will obey. Now listen closely, because this is the moment most men miss. They walk away when it gets hard. They quit when the results are slow. They look at discipline like it's punishment. But not you. You now understand, discipline is the doorway to wealth, to freedom, to power. This world is not handed to the reactive. It bends to the decisive. And the man who commands his mind is the man who commands his fate. You don't need perfect timing. You don't need luck. You don't need 100 chances. You need one thing: unwavering alignment between your thoughts and your actions. And you already feel it building in you, don't you? That pressure in your chest? That quiet voice that says, enough talking. It's time. No more delay. No more excuses. No more waiting for motivation to knock. You knock. You kick the door down. And you build. Not tomorrow. Not next week. Now. Because now, you're not just dreaming of success. You're sculpting it. With every thought. Every word. Every choice. With every hour that you train your mind while others drift in distraction. You become the man the world cannot ignore. Not because you yell, but because you move with such certainty, the world can't help but listen. So move. Sharpen your standard. Cut the weakness. Kill the noise. This is your hour. And if you want more of this fire, this kind of clarity, this kind of focus, then you know what to do. Smash the like. Subscribe for more. Drop your thoughts in the comments. What thought are you eliminating today? What decision are you making now that changes everything?